Hey toy fans, I'm D21Beast and welcome back to my figure review series here on my YouTube channel. And today, as you can see here, I am doing a 2-in-1 review. I've got the Marvel Legends Mark 42 Iron Man on the left and the Marvel Legends Mark 43 Iron Man on the right. Now the figure on the left I just picked up this year at Planet Comic-Con in Kansas City. I've been trying to get the extra figures together to finally complete my Ironmonger figure, and I saw this guy a little overpriced at convention, but I decided to go ahead and pick him up. He was the last figure I needed to complete Ironmonger. And once I had the 42, I figured why not get the 43? So I thought I'd go ahead and do a review for you guys here today comparing the sculpt and the paintwork of these figures. And we'll even go ahead and compare them to some other movie Iron Man figures in my collection, just for the fun of it. But let's get things started by taking a look at the packaging for each one of these figures. Starting with the Mark 42 Iron Man, released in 2013, we've got an image of Iron Man off to the left and the official Avengers movie logo off to the right. We then have the title for Iron Man, sans the 3. We have a Blizzard Bubble packaging that does have this Iron Man figure inside, as well as this Build-A-Figure piece. We have the pre-Infinite Series white Marvel Legends logo there towards the bottom, and then the figure's name, Mark 42 Iron Man. And as we flip this package around, you've got the official Avengers logo in the upper right and the bio for the Mark 42. Go ahead and pause now to read that. You've got an image of Iron Man off to the left and a concept art off to the right. You then have a complete lineup of all the figures that were available in this wave, as well as their Build-A-Figure Ironmonger off to the left. Switching gears now to the Mark 43 Iron Man released in 2015, you do have that Build-A-Figure Thanos emblem in the upper left. You've got the official title for Avengers Age of Ultron there towards the center. You do have a window box packaging that does house this Mark 43 Iron Man figure inside, as well as his accessory and Build-A-Figure piece. Coming down the packaging, you have that black version of the Marvel Legends Infinite Series logo. And finally, the figure's name at the bottom, Iron Man Mark 43, followed by the official Avengers movie seal there on the right. And flipping this package around, we have the Marvel Legends Infinite Series logo in the upper left and the Avengers Age of Ultron logo in the upper right. You do have a bio for Iron Man Mark 43. Go ahead and pause now to read that. Coming down the package, you do have an image of the figure, and then again that Thanos Build-A-Figure emblem. And finally, you have a complete lineup of all the figures currently available in this wave, as well as the Thanos Build-A-Figure pictured off to the left. Alright, toy fans, well that's the packaging. Let's say we get this pair of futurists out of their boxes and see what they're all about. And here we have Mark 42 and Mark 43 Iron Man out of the packaging. And as you might expect, both of these figures do basically share the exact same sculpt through and through. Now what I am noticing here is that the Mark 42 Iron Man does appear to have more paint applications than the Mark 43 Iron Man. But largely the gold portions of the 42 are paint deco, which I'm really impressed by. That was a lot of extra work that Hasbro put into this figure, making essentially a red Iron Man figure and then just painting him gold everywhere you see it. It's also worth noting here that when you look at the back of these figures, that the 42 has more paint applications on the back here than we see with the 43s. So there's definitely a sign there of Hasbro trying to cut cost as the figure line progresses over the years. Let's go ahead and flip these figures around here. We're going to take a closer look at the Mark 43 Iron Man armor. I just think the sculpt work on this figure is really nice. Lots of detail here sculpted on the face mask for the Iron Man figure, all around the back of the head. I like all the sculpted lines here in the torso, in the abdomen, coming down the legs. I mean, they put all the detail there that should actually be there on the Iron Man armor. Like I mentioned previously, this one's a little lighter on paint decals, but overall, both these figures share the same sculpt, and I think it's a really nice Iron Man sculpt. I'm very happy with the work done there. And even though the 43 has fewer paint applications, I do actually like the overall look of this figure. It looks a lot like I remember the armor looking when I watched Avengers Age of Ultron. It's also worth noting here that the 42 does not have light painted on the repulsor blaster on the inside of the hand, and they seem to have corrected that issue with the 43. So I'm glad that Hasbro caught that on what's essentially a re-release of the same figure. Moving on to accessories, we can see here that the Mark 42 Iron Man does come with the Build-A-Figure arm for Ironmonger, and as I mentioned previously, that is the last piece I needed to finish that Build-A-Figure, so if you want to see a review of that guy, go ahead and let me know in the comments below. And then Iron Man Mark 43 comes with the leg of Thanos. I'm still a few pieces away from completing that figure, unfortunately. But Mark 43 also comes with a really cool treat here. We have an alternate head that does feature Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, just with the mask flipped up here. Now this isn't the first time that we received a Robert Downey face for our Iron Man figures. There was the Mark IV that came out in the Iron Man 2 line that had Iron Man with his sunglasses on, just like he looked in the movie when he was eating donuts. But back when the first Iron Man movie was in theaters, we actually got another Robert Downey Iron Man figure. It was the prototype armor figure. Now this figure was special because he had removable armor pieces on the chest, on the forearms, but the mask actually comes off to reveal a Robert Downey head. And that's actually why I picked up this prototype Iron Man figure instead of the standard Mark III figure back in the day. I like that he had the Robert Downey head on there. Let's go ahead and pull both of these in and compare the looks of these faces. I never thought that the look of the prototype armor Robert Downey was really spot on, but I do think that the face on the Mark 43 head is actually perfect. So I'm glad. I actually think this one was made from facial scans, where this one was just free sculpted by whoever designed the figure. but I really like the 43 head and think it really captures the look of Robert Downey. Now switching this out, as you can see, is different from the original prototype armor where I just pulled the mask off. For the 43, the head will actually come off pretty easily. You can just pull it off, it's on a ball joint, and pop the new head on. And you have Iron Man with his mask flipped up. Give it a little shove there. There we go. And I think it looks really great on this figure. But the bonus of the armor being the exact same helmet as the Mark 42 is you can pull this head off the Mark 43 armor and place it easily on the Mark 42. Since they share the same sculpt, they have the same ball joint, same size socket, the whole bit. You can just pop it on here. Now the paint is a little different on the head armor than we get from the torso, and that's holds true for the 43 overall. But if you get it on there and you don't look at it too closely, it does actually look like the Mark 42 armor with the mask flipped up, and I think that's a really nice touch. Articulation on these figures is identical, so for the purpose of this review, I'll go ahead and show you how the Mark 43 moves around. He's got a ball jointed head, as I mentioned, so he can look up, actually not that far at all, which is kind of disappointing for a flying figure, but he does look down nicely. His head will rotate all the way around. He's got these movable shoulder flaps, so you can rotate the arm forward and back all the way, and you can even hinge it up. Oh, give it a little push here. It does hinge up nicely, and then you can see the shoulder joint does get out of the way. It does hinder the arm just a tad when it comes to moving up and rotating all the way around. You'd have an upper bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, you've got a wrist rotation, and then the hand is not designed to move back because of the way the armor is designed, but it will bend down nicely. Has that same articulation on the other side. You do have a diaphragm joint that'll rotate left and right. It's a little tight on my 43, and it will flex forward just a tad and flex back, actually better than that. No waist rotation. It does have a hip joint that'll move forward only about that far, back to just past standing position, out from the body very far. There's also a full rotation there at the ball joint. Double jointed knees, and then he's got a foot that does bend forward that far, bend back that far, and there is that Hasbro ankle pivot. So, you know, I would have preferred a waist rotation, I think, but overall a great range of motion for this Iron Man figure, and better than some of the previous ones that I've got in my collection. Height-wise, you can see that the Mark 42 and Mark 43 stand just about 6.5 inches tall. For some size comparison, here we have the Mark 42 and the Mark 43 compared to the Mark 3 armor from the first Iron Man movie, the Mark 5 armor from Iron Man 2, and the Mark 6 armor from the end of Iron Man 2 and the beginning of the 2012 Avengers movie. Here they are compared to the Mark 1 War Machine figure from Iron Man 2, the Iron Patriot armor from Iron Man 3, and because why not, Star-Lord, man? And finally, here they are compared to the 6-inch scale Marvel Legends Infinite Series Wolverine. If Magneto shows up, we are totally screwed. No, we'll be fine. He's been written out of our cinematic universe. Hey, Singer, did you hear about this? It's not too late to drop Grape Face from our next movie. Alright, toy fans, well that's my review of the Marvel Legends Iron Man 3 Mark 42 Iron Man released in 2013 by Hasbro, and the Marvel Legends Infinite Series Thanos Build-A-Figure Wave Mark 43 armor released by Hasbro in 2015. Overall, I think that these are both really great Iron Man figures with great sculpts and great paint applications overall, but I do think the more definitive Iron Man figure at this point is the Mark 43, the one that was just featured in Age of Ultron this past summer. So if you're looking to get both of these Iron Man figures, the Mark 42 has actually gone up on the secondary market a little bit. I think you'll be okay just picking up the 43, but they're both really great Iron Man figures in their own right. However, I do have to give an additional edge to the 43 armor for coming with the interchangeable Robert Downey Tony Stark head. Do you agree with me, toy fans? Would you rather pick the 42 over the 43? Let me know in the comments below. Well, thanks for watching this review and comparison, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like what you saw here, please feel free to rate, share, subscribe. Also, be sure to hit me up on Twitter and Instagram at D21Beast. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.